What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Matt from Unlimited, and this is the Unlimited Podcast, episode 33, where we will be talking about Fastlane this past Sunday, and specifically reviewing Fastlane from this past Sunday. The final stop on the road to WrestleMania went through Cleveland, Ohio, and after 10 matches, we finally have some closure and some kind of idea of what's going on at WrestleMania 35. And we saw that at Fastlane. We saw that on Raw this past Monday. We saw that on Smackdown last night as well. But in the meantime, I want to take this opportunity before my guest gets here. Walter will be joining in a couple of minutes, but just wanted to take this time to let you know about some of the new content that's going to be appearing on the channel in the next couple of weeks. This Friday, if you like Q&As, this Friday will be a WrestleMania-themed Q&A. Any questions about past, present, or future WrestleManias, WrestleMania matches, WrestleMania moments, greatest WrestleMania performances or performers are accepted. Anything that has to do with WrestleMania, I'll gladly accept, and I will gladly answer as many questions as I can, hopefully all of them. And hopefully I get a big turnout for that because I really like doing the Q&As. It gets me to interact with my subscribers and followers and everyone. So hopefully, if you guys have any questions, send them our way. The Facebook page, the post is up. So if you have any questions, go to the Unlimited Facebook page. Link to that is in the description box down below. Next Wednesday, still working on a time. But next Wednesday will be the next episode of Unlimited Live. And if you do not know what Unlimited Live is basically a watch-along show where we go back into the history of professional wrestling and we take a look at a pay-per-view randomly selected. We go back and we watch it live and give our thoughts, our reactions, and give our review of the show as well. So if you want to join us for that, it's next Wednesday night, and the pay-per-view that we will be watching and reviewing is Backlash 2004. And if any of you know Bret, one of the managers on this channel, he actually was fortunate enough to go to this show back in 2004 because it did take place in Edmonton. I believe it's the only place, or the only pay-per-view, that did take place in Edmonton. So go back into wrestling history at a very solid pay-per-view to go back and watch. So if anyone wants to watch it with us, feel free. Once again, it's next Wednesday. Not sure of the time. It'll probably be 8 o'clock Eastern, but be on the lookout on the Unlimited Facebook page and the Twitter page for the announcement of what time it's going to take place in. Also, don't forget that every Tuesday night, immediately following Smackdown Live, Bret Litke and Walter Main do a Smackdown and Raw live, the Raw Smackdown recap. Once again, post Smackdown Live, at 10 o'clock every Tuesday night. So if you want to go and see their thoughts about Raw and Smackdown from that week, you can just do that there. WrestleMania week. I did not post a tentative schedule yet. I'm going to. But I will tell you what the plans are, at least for WrestleMania week. We will be doing 3 episodes. I repeat, 3 episodes of Unlimited Live, where we will be going back into the history of WrestleMania, the granddaddy of them all, and we will be watching, live reviewing, live reacting to not 1, not 2, but 3 WrestleMania events, looking back at 1 good, 1 bad, and 1 very, very, very ugly. And if you can guess which ugly WrestleMania that is, yes, of course, it is WrestleMania 9 from 1993. God help us all. We are going to be watching WrestleMania 9. The bad, we decided to select WrestleMania 26. Just the 3 of us the 3 of us on Unlimited decided that was the show that we wanted to watch because it was really, really disappointing. Hopefully you guys watch it with us too. The good, is WrestleMania 17. I know that a lot of you consider WrestleMania 17 the greatest WrestleMania of all time. I personally do not. But I'll gladly rewatch it because there was some good stuff and a lot of good stuff on that show and even some great stuff on that show. So it'll be good to go back and kind of watch that too. During that week also, we will be doing another Unlimited podcast where we will be predicting and previewing WrestleMania 35. That will take place the Wednesday of WrestleMania week. And of course, on Friday of WrestleMania week, on Saturday of WrestleMania week, the day before WrestleMania, there will be another Unlimited Q&A, and that will also be WrestleMania themed. So be on the lookout for the post for that as well. I'm still waiting for Walter Main to come on. Hopefully he joins us soon, but I just wanted to remind everyone that if you like this video, leave a like. If you don't, leave a dislike. If you want to be involved, then leave a comment. If you want other people knowing about us, then share these videos. And if you want people to know, if you want to know when more great content like this is going to be appearing on this channel, then subscribe to this channel. Hit that little bell next to the subscribe button. So anytime we have a new video, you know that it's up. You know that it's going live. We gladly try to get as much content as we can out. Just so we have some, just so, we're not posting the same stuff all the time. We have some other new stuff coming soon. We have an Unlimited podcast about hockey. We have an Unlimited podcast, another one about baseball coming up, so be on the lookout for that. And just, that's about it. Fastlane from this Sunday, once again, took place from the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, and that is perfect timing, Walter. Walter, are you there? Walter Main. Hello?
Hi.
Okay, good. I decided to go live and just tell everybody about all the great stuff that we're gonna do over the next couple weeks. I did not talk about the pay-per-view at all. Just waited for you. How are you, Walter?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm okay. I worked up a sweat talking about all the stuff that's going on. Jesus.
Well, we've got a lot going on.
We got a lot going on. We have a pay-per-view to discuss. We have an Unlimited Live next week. We have 3 Unlimited Lives during WrestleMania week.
And next week's is Backlash?
Backlash 2004. I'm looking forward to watching that pay-per-view again. Some really good stuff.
Oh, especially Foley Orton. That's top line.
Foley Orton, and of course, if you did not watch the triple threat from WrestleMania 20, you get to see it again at Backlash between Benoit, Michaels, and Triple H. That was not as good as the Mania match, but still really, really good.
Right.
Some other stuff mixed in there too, but it's going to be a fun show to go back and watch. So,
oh yeah,
there we go. So Fastlane.
It was fast and it was a lane.
When we did the prediction show last week, there were only 7 matches on the main card and 1 on the pre-show. After Fastlane 2019, we wound up with 10 matches on the show, 9 on the main show and 1 on the pre-show. And that 1 on the pre-show was not the one we expected.
No.
If I can sum up Fastlane in just a few thoughts, didn't really think the show needed to happen.
But I thought there was a lot of good wrestling there. I thought it was an enjoyable show.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable show for the most part. Did I think that it was really needed? Like I said, no. We could have done some of the stuff that they did on Raw, but or on SmackDown. But at the same time, if you're gonna have the pay-per-view, at least make it good. And it wasn't a bad sit-through.
No, it was a relatively quick sit-through. It was fun.
Yeah. And it did some stuff to get ready for WrestleMania. It did set up some stuff. So, and we're gonna get to that in a little bit. Congratulations on going a perfect 7-0 in predictions for Fastlane, and I went 5-2. If anyone cares,
it feels good to be right.
Lucky you. I'm always the wrong one. It's my channel. I'm always the one wrong, apparently.
But here, with the fact that I'm like so far ahead in predictions leading into Mania, with my luck and with the way that things probably go, you're gonna like sweep Mania predictions.
Yeah, I'm gonna
do awful.
I'm gonna sweep Mania predictions, and then when we cover like Money in the Bank or Hell in a Cell, you'll go like 0-7 or 0-8.
And then you'll catch right up.
Yeah. That's the beauty of like sports and contests like this, is that you just never ever know what's going to happen. And that is definitely the case in the WWE. It's like, just because stuff is reported on the internet doesn't mean it's going to happen. You just never know what'll happen.
Right. Vince could have a change of mind 2 minutes before the show and be like, "You're dropping the title." What? I thought I was holding it for another year. No, you're dropping it now.
You're going over. Okay, but you got to make Roman look really, really strong.
Nah, I thought I was just gonna shit all over him and beat him.
I
just
feel
give
like
all three of them the GTS at the same time.
I feel like every podcast we've done this year, we found a way to incorporate that interview.
We have
that podcast in this show. I don't get it. Shout out to CM Punk, I guess. Anyway, Fastlane.
Yes.
Like I said, some good that happened on the show. A little bit of bad that happened on the show too. Let's start with the good. The New Day and Kofi Kingston just throughout this week have been really good.
Oh yeah. Like the entirety of this week, they've been just on fire.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead.
The segment with Vince was just outstanding.
Right. And throughout this pay-per-view too, like you get the pre-show match, which I didn't actually watch. Did you watch it?
No.
Okay. I've heard that it was a solid match, which, fine with me. New Day go over. History for Rusev, and not really great history. That is his 17th consecutive pay-per-view loss. Remember when Rusev was undefeated for almost a year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
17 straight pay-per-view losses.
He is tied with the Great Khali.
Oh my god. That's not good company.
I feel like this is why he should still be a face, because I feel like they should turn that into like an on-screen streak. Or like, oh, you lose at every pay-per-view. So that way when he wins, it's a big deal. And the people can actually get behind that. Whatever. More lame stuff with Rusev, I guess. We kicked off with a solid match. Very solid match. For the Smackdown tag titles. The Usos versus The Miz and Shane McMahon.
I'm surprised Shane McMahon was physically able to do the beatdown after the match, after, specifically that coast to coast, or like coast to middle of the ring, drop kicking an Uso in the knee.
Coast to ocean or the solid ground.
Oh my god. That was insane.
Yeah, I actually didn't watch that match live, but today I went back and watched it. How are they both alive?
I don't know. Like, whichever Uso it was, their knee could have easily just exploded.
Yeah, and thank God they didn't collide heads, because that'd be even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they'd both be unconscious, and they'd probably both be in the hospital.
Yeah, that match would have been stopped immediately.
And you know what? I say this all the time. Kudos to Shane McMahon at his age, still doing this stuff when he really doesn't need to.
Oh, no, not at all.
Just that's a star right there. I don't care what anyone says. Like, that's a guy you can believe in. But for right now, it's a guy we can hate because immediately following the match, we get the Miz. He's outside the ring. He's hugging his dad. Everything seems all fine and dandy. And then the heel turn that everyone thought would happen happened, but not with the guy that we thought would happen.
Right. I figured it was going to be Miz.
I kind of figured it was going to be Miz too because it just made more logical sense to do it because,
right.
like I said, Miz just works better, so much better as a heel. He's not as believable as a babyface.
Also, did you catch where Miz landed on his feet prior to hitting the frog splash?
If there were two gripes I had with that match, one was the ending. Because that frog splash was awful.
He landed on his feet.
Like, Miz, you realize the Uso was down, right? Like, he wasn't standing. You weren't hitting, like, a diving axe handle or something.
Lord.
And the second gripe is when Shane McMahon is attacking the Miz post-match, and the reaction by Miz's dad was like nothing was happening. He's just like, hello, your son's being attacked. You're not gonna like jump the railing or like hit him or something or even like react remotely scared or angry.
I had pitched the idea of Miz turning heel via attacking Shane and his dad.
Yeah, you did.
My God. This is attacking his dad.
Good God Almighty! But
I thought Shane should have punched him.
I did too. Like Shane should have punched him, or his dad should have punched him first, and then Shane attack him.
Right.
Like his dad just like stood there, so like nothing.
And didn't he's taken bumps before? Didn't Randy Orton attack him one time?
I think you might be right. Yeah. Good match regardless.
Right.
Sets up another match for WrestleMania. This was confirmed on Tuesday night on SmackDown. It's going to be Miz versus Shane. Something to at least look forward to. So that's good. SmackDown women's title match. Asuka.
Oh, good God.
Defending against Mandy Rose.
The fireman's carry that she kind of just like bleh, and flopped Asuka down.
What does WWE see in Mandy Rose other than she's blonde?
Good character work. Good. She does cut a good promo.
She does. But wow.
Yeah, that match was bad.
Like, you follow up that really good tag match.
Yeah.
With Asuka versus Mandy Rose.
But the one kudos I will give to Mandy in that match, she ate every inch of that spinning kick to the face.
Yes, she did. I saw the replay of that.
That was not a worked kick. Like right on her cheekbone.
Yeah, Asuka probably legitimately kicked her because she screwed up. She's like, no. Can we talk about that ending? The ending so bad that they decided to do it again on SmackDown.
And did it worse?
Oh.
Like
it's
why have the ring apron, something involving the ring apron,
right,
be the deciding factor?
Like, I understand like trying to like create tension between Sonya and Mandy, but that's the way you do it.
I guess they're trying to do it differently than it's ever been done.
I guess so, but my philosophy is if it didn't work once, don't do it twice.
I mean, yeah.
It's kind of common sense. But yeah, terrible match. Just really,
Awful.
really bad. An impromptu handicap match. Kofi Kingston taking on Cesaro and Sheamus. And by handicap match, I mean handicap mauling.
I mean, I get why they did it, and I'm fine with the fact that they did it, but it went on way too long.
Yeah, I'm looking right now, and, you know, the match went on for a little over 5 minutes. It felt longer than 5 minutes. Felt like it went on for like 10, 15 minutes. Like, I understand you want to make Kofi look as weak as possible, but Jesus. Like, today, we still have several more matches to go. Although, the storytelling aspect.
Good.
Love it.
Really good.
Love it. Obviously, we get to Tuesday night, and next Tuesday night on SmackDown, Kofi will be competing in a gauntlet match.
That's going to be great.
It is. The only thing that I'm worried about is, you know, it's 1 against 5. Obviously, you want to build up Kofi really strong going into WrestleMania, but you don't want to make him look like Superman. Like that.
No. Here's what you do.
Oh, no.
You beat him in 2 minutes.
Oh, my God. No. I'm just going to stack all 5 of them up and GTS all of them at the same time.
No, what happens is it's like a lineup gauntlet. Trouble in Paradise to the first guy, and it's like bowling pins.
Could you imagine, like, all the heels, all of a sudden, they just feel sorry for Kofi, and then they just line up and be like, pin me. Pin me. Pin me.
And then it's just Rowan, and they're like, and then Rowan and Bryan are like, what the fuck?
Well, that backfired. Like we said, went on for too long, but still did its job. So
yeah.
Good stuff. Triple threat tag match for the Raw tag titles.
I really liked it.
The Revival defended against Bobby Roode and Chad Gable and Ricochet and Aleister Black. Really good match. Other than like the one botch at the end where Ricochet went for that Hurricane Rana to the outside of the ring. And I believe it was Scott Dawson, and he landed a little bit short, and it looked kind of awkward. Other than that, though, it was a good match.
I just attribute that to like the small amount of space they had to work with.
Yeah.
But still, that was a cool spot.
Yeah, it was a really cool spot and a good match, like I said.
Yeah.
The thing with me is, though, it's just not as special to me because we've already seen these guys face off in multiple tag matches on Raw.
Right.
So it kind of, you know, ruins the vibe, ruins the, you know, the importance of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Good match, though. I'm not going to take that away from them.
Oh, yeah.
Impromptu U.S. title fatal 4-way match.
Loved it.
Samoa Joe in a rematch. Samoa Joe defending against Andrade, R-Truth, and Rey Mysterio. I liked it. My question, though, is what the hell are they going to do with the U.S. title at WrestleMania?
At first, I was banking on it being Joe Cena.
Which I would have been okay with.
But now that it looks like maybe Cena's going to be facing Angle, I pitch maybe you do straight up Joe versus Rey.
Or maybe another fatal 4-way.
Oh, God.
Make it 3. Make it 3. Oh, man. It's sad because there are already 6 announced matches for WrestleMania. And let me read them off. Hang on one sec. Right now, it's Brock Rollins, the triple threat match for the Raw Women's title, Triple H Batista, Kurt Angle's last match, Shane versus Miz, And then the cruiserweight match, Buddy Murphy versus the winner of the tournament.
You forgot one more.
Right now, only 6 have been announced.
No.
Which one? Oh,
AJ Orton.
They technically didn't announce it.
A challenge was made and it was accepted.
I don't think he ever accepted it, though.
I thought he did.
No, I think as soon as AJ laid out the challenge, Orton just walked away. Okay, but as I was going, where I was going with this is, we already have 6 announced matches on the card, and there's still so many matches I could see happening. And even the U.S. title, like, Joe Ray, fine, but just too much, man.
And there's rumor that The Undertaker's not going to be missing Mania.
Is there really?
Taker versus Demon.
Are you that's seriously a thing?
That's the rumored reason why they took the IC title off then.
Dude, it just never ends with Undertaker. I've been saying this for like the past 5 WrestleManias. Undertaker, please go away.
Imagine if they squash Taker.
Finn just comes out like he pokes him in the chest. Finger poke of Doom Part 2. Walter doesn't know how to respond to that.
That's not what I was going for.
All right.
You know what no one's ever done? I've never seen someone do.
What?
Even though it would be more of a heel that would do this. Jump Taker during his entrance.
That has never happened during Mania. And it hasn't really happened at all. Like,
right.
It's probably happened before, but I just can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Punk did it.
Yes. Not at Mania, though, but yes.
On an episode of Raw.
Yep. And I know Brock did it, but Taker was already getting into the ring. That was at SummerSlam, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be cool with that happening. I just don't want to see Taker back again. Anyway, women's tag title match. Bayley and Sasha Banks defending against Nia and Tamina.
It was okay.
Couple of notable botches, but it was kind of the match you expected.
Right. I thought Bayley and Sasha did a very good job.
Yeah.
I especially liked the tandem offense they were doing. Like the rope climbs with using the other one to balance out.
Mm-hmm.
And Bayley and Sasha won, so, that's good.
And they at least made an effort to at least make Nia and Tamina look a little bit strong after the match.
Yeah.
Doing the stare down with Beth Phoenix and attacking her and attacking Natalya. Maybe setting up a multi-woman tag team match at Mania.
That's what it looks like.
Another damn match.
and then you have the Iconics lobbying for a tag title shot.
And of course, it's going to be a TLC match.
Wait. Did I say?
No.
Did I hear myself say Iconic? Anyway.
Thanks. Now we're going to get flagged for copyright. Well, so ends the Unlimited podcast. I'm Matt from Unlimited. We'll see you later.
No.
Last 3 matches on the show. The WWE Championship match, which originally was Daniel Bryan taking on Kevin Owens. And that turned into a triple threat match after...
And it was awesome.
as I was saying. No, I agree. It was a really good match. Obviously, they teased it in the beginning of the night by Vince saying to Kofi that it was going to be a triple threat match. Have Kofi go out to the ring. It's not a triple threat match. It wound up being a triple threat match. But
and everyone thought, oh, maybe they'll throw Kofi in.
Which I kind of didn't, because how do you get murdered and then come back?
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's Mustafa.
Which, you know what? Again, for storyline reasons, good. I liked that.
It was really good.
And this match was really good. I don't know if I'm all for unfortunately putting Mustafa and Kevin Owens in this spot. You know, they're just kind of there while Bryan and Kofi are the main focuses.
Yeah.
But good stuff anyway. Good match.
Yeah, it was a very good match.
It was a good thing, especially for Mustafa Ali in a WWE Championship match, to prove that he can be in a WWE Championship match. So
yeah, and he held his own against legitimately two of the best in the world.
Yeah. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. And obviously, if Becky Lynch won that match, she'd be added to the match at WrestleMania, making it a triple threat. We knew going into it that like one of three things was going to happen. Either Becky wins clean and it's pointless, Charlotte wins clean and it's pointless, or there was going to be some screwy finish.
We got the latter.
Ultimately, we got the screwy finish, and it wound up working. The match itself,
it's what it needed to be.
It is what it needed to be. Charlotte was actually...
Because you could not have had Becky go out there and get the better of Charlotte on one leg twice in a row.
No.
You can't.
Absolutely not.
If they did that, that would have actually been pretty upsetting, in my opinion.
That actually would have been really disappointing.
Yeah.
The way they did it, though, I liked, because obviously Charlotte spent the whole match working on the leg.
Which is suddenly better by Tuesday.
Yeah, of course. And obviously Ronda comes out, and while Charlotte has the figure eight on Becky, Ronda comes out and attacks Becky, and as a result disqualifies Charlotte and puts herself in the match puts Becky in the match at WrestleMania. I liked that finish, and the reason why is because, you know, Ronda is establishing herself as a badass, even though she's a heel.
Mm-hmm.
And B, Ronda would be wanting to go after Becky, so this puts her in the match.
Yeah.
Settles their unfinished business. So the storytelling, the storytelling there, good again.
Yep. Absolutely no complaints about that. I think overall, like when you look at the overall from point A to point B, they could have been a lot cleaner with how they got to the triple threat match.
Mm-hmm.
But hey,
we're
going to get it. It's probably going to close Mania, and it's probably going to be a match of the year candidate.
Yeah, that's been my only complaint about this whole feud, is that like I just feel like they've been trying to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand it's the WrestleMania main event, or it's probably going to be. So I appreciate the fact that they are going all out.
Yeah.
But going all out and doing too much, you know, kind of hurts it a little bit. So, like I said, I liked the finish. Hopefully they kind of tone the storyline down a little bit, maybe until the last week before Mania. And then you get that big blow off.
Yeah.
But, again, we'll see what happens. Which brings us to our last match. 6-man tag match. The Shield in their first match back and their final match together until the next time, faced off against Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and Baron Corbin. Your thoughts?
I liked it. It was a lot of fun. It kind of reminded me of the way they would lay out the matches when they were doing Shield versus Evolution.
I was literally thinking the same thing.
Like, you had the two guys in the ring, which is usually Roman and whoever, and then you had Dean and Seth brawling in the crowd with the other two.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd get the quick cuts so that if something not particularly interesting is going on in one part, you cut to the other part where something is going on.
Right. I've seen a lot of hate. I have a lot of hatred of this match. I don't know why.
I really liked it.
I loved it. Like I said, or like you said, I should say, it had that Shield Evolution and even a little bit of a Shield Wyatt's vibe to it.
Yeah,
where
they would do the same. They would do the same thing in both those matches because you could kind of have like two individual matches existing in different parts.
Yeah. Not to mention Seth Rollins doing his big spot in the crowd and Dean Ambrose brawling and Roman Reigns in the ring doing his thing. They didn't make Roman look overly strong to where he was, being Superman. It's not like he was kicking out of everyone's finishing move. The Shield were breaking up the pinfalls. But I've seen so many people saying they don't like this match, and like even JD from NY, and I usually like him, but he went on to say like, oh, back to the typical Roman propaganda by WWE. That's why he's main eventing.
No.
I'm like, that's just dumb.
Like, what else would you have main event the show? Nothing else would have been as important as, hey, it's Roman's first back match after beating cancer.
Yeah. Like, going into it, you could argue that Becky and Charlotte should close, but coming out of it, I'm glad this main evented the show.
Yeah.
And it deserved to main event the show.
The moment at the end was amazing.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of people were expecting some kind of a turn to take place, but I'm actually glad it didn't.
Yeah, it made the moment feel genuine.
Yeah, and looking at what happened on Monday night, where Dean Ambrose basically got murdered.
Oh my God. I hear the sound of that claymore in my sleep.
That was just crazy. And that there's another match at WrestleMania. It's probably going to be Roman and Dean versus Drew and Lashley.
Unless they do...
Or Drew and Corbin, I should say.
Unless they do straight up, like, Roman and Drew. But then at that point, you're backing yourself into a corner. Who do you want to have?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. At least, like, if you have the tag match, if you have the Shield go over, Corbin can eat the pinfall.
Or if you have Drew and Corbin go over,
then Dean can eat
the pinfall.
Yeah, it would make more sense for Dean to eat the pinfall in this case.
Yeah.
And then if you decide to do some kind of a turn, that's where you do it, WrestleMania.
Right.
I think that's the perfect spot for it. Other than that, though, I thought this was a really fun match. I thought that the storytelling was good. Corbin, Lashley, and McIntyre basically coming out and saying, while Roman was gone, they carried Raw. And as much as you people might not like that, it's the truth.
They did.
They were there every week.
Like, yeah, there was that stretch in like December where Raw was absolutely completely unbearable.
Yes.
But look at it since then. All three of those guys have done nothing but improve.
Yeah. Pretty sure, like, since Rumble, like, Raw has gone on this slow climb back up. And then once Fastlane hit, and once this past Monday's Raw hit, that really went up. I really liked Raw for Monday.
Yeah, Raw was good on Monday.
How dare you eat on this show?
The Unlimited Podcast brought to you by Egg Noodles.
And on that note, that is Fastlane. We've gone through this in 41 minutes.
Wow.
Not too bad. Not too shabby. Just wait until WrestleMania, where this podcast is going to be 3 freaking hours.
Yeah. And we're going to be like drained, and it's going to be like, oh, we're halfway through the show, and it's going to be like,
yeah, WrestleMania is going to have like 15 matches on it, and once we get past the first 8, we're going to be like, do we have to do this?
We're going to be like, can we split the podcast in 2 parts?
I'm considering it. Might be hard with my schedule, but
yeah,
I'm considering it though. I will say that one thing I did not announce prior to Walter joining in was the Wednesday after WrestleMania. We will have another Unlimited podcast where we will be reviewing WrestleMania 35.
Yes.
And we are going to have 2 podcasters / YouTubers joining us. It's going to be me, Walter, and Bret. So be on the lookout for that, and be on the lookout for an announcement about who's going to be joining. While Walter,
spoiler alert, it's Aaron Rift.
Aaron Rift is joining me on this show, and you know what? All right, I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to spoil it. You've made me do this, ladies and gentlemen. The Wednesday after WrestleMania on the Unlimited podcast is none other than Dave Meltzer. He's going to give WrestleMania a minimum of 5 stars, and he's going to give this podcast a minimum of 10.
Because if he doesn't, then we're going to kill Japan.
That sounded so bad.
Not any of the people there. Not any of the people.
Just the country.
It's just going to like be a random island. It's not going to be called Japan anymore. We're going to have to come up with a new name for it. Like,
the United States of Japan.
Yes. If Dave Meltzer doesn't give this podcast 10 stars, the United States will annex Japan.
Good God almighty. All right. Before we wrap this up, I have to get something off my chest. This Unlimited podcast, I planned on more people knowing about it, but Facebook decided that wasn't going to happen. I've spent all day trying to post the link to this show on Facebook to no avail. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm looking at you, Mark Zuckerberg. I'm challenging you to a fight here on Unlimited, and the referee is going to be none other than Walter Main.
I'll call it right down the middle.
And we at Unlimited are going to take over Facebook just like we're taking over YouTube. Damn it. There we go.
There's a reason.
Oh, I forgot to wear mine.
I wore this shirt.
Damn it.
Because Facebook, this is where the big boys play. Look at the adjective. Play.
We're not here to play.
We're also not here to grammar.
No, we're not. Anyway, that was Fastlane. Walter, thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining us as always.
Oh yeah.
Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you like it, leave a like. If you don't, leave a dislike. If you want to be involved, leave a comment. If you want more people knowing about us, then share. And if you want to know about the new and exciting stuff that's coming on Unlimited and want to be a part of it, subscribe to this channel. Click that little bell right next to the subscribe button. They'll let you know when we post something new. Like our Facebook page. Join our Facebook group page. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. And, of course, keep watching this content. Keep watching this content. And by this content, I mean this content. Look at it, Walter. Look at it. Look at it.
Boy, it's almost like there's a lot of stock images.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Also, go like the Facebook page right now. It's right here. It is facebook.com/NoLimitsUnlimited. And of course, go to the Twitter page and follow that as well. Walter, you got anything to add?
Oh, I think you covered all of it.
Well, on that note, I'm Matt from Unlimited.
I'm Walter from Unlimited.
You have watched the Unlimited Podcast.